So after the feedback I got from my first shot, um, from my first attempt at trying to point to the fact that I believe that the Nigerian economy has taken the turn for the better, and how I believe that things are beginning to fall in place, and um, there's just light at the end of the tunnel, and we might be heading for prosperity. So I've gotten quite some feedbacks, and I just felt I should address some other issues that still buttresses my point. So today I'll be talking about the floating naira. Now the naira is floating. A lot of people should understand the term floating. Floating means it is what other word can I use now to describe when something is floating? It's just on a free flow. It's just on. It's determined by principles of demand and supply. It's now determined by how good our economy operates versus how good the other economy that hosts the currency we are floating against. You can float the naira against the American dollar standardly internationally. You float naira against dollar. Every currency in the world is floated against the dollar. And then we can have some other trading pairs. You can still float the naira against the Great Britain pounds. You can float the naira against the Japanese yen. You can float against the Swiss francs, against the European currency, the currency in the European Union, the euro. So it now depends on how your economy is doing part time against most of these other major world economies. So he's now saying you are going to play in the bigger league. You are now in the League of Nations. You are now in the Committee of Nations. It now says you invite for these nations, these international communities. It now says you invite for them to bring their beam light, their searchlight, to touchlight koro every sector of the economy, such that there can't be any foul play whatsoever, such that it is the true reflection of the economy that values the naira. The naira strength is a direct reflection of the economy. So when you talk of floating naira, you should be talking of floating naira in terms of a working economy, a workable, responsive, smart, agile, very, very stimulated economy. That is where you should have the impetus to even float your currency. I mean, Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in when there was a lot of chaos. And in the midst of this chaos, he was bold enough to still say, subsidy, it have gone no, and we are going to be floating the naira. Of course, there was serious spike and there was serious volatility. The naira just started to race. So looking back now, I see that why the naira raced was to set a level of precedence, because currencies are traded on historical data. So now the naira has set a level of precedence. The naira has a high value of below 2,000, and right now it has a low value of below 1,000. So 1,000 and 2,000 is the range, the playing range for the naira against the dollar. Between 1,000 and 2,000, that is the range. Now that is the bandwidth the naira has started to play on. But that's not the story. The true story is that when in the midst of all of that chaos, the man was calm. The man was just really calm. He was just, doing what he had to do, putting his men in place. His men were checkmating. Kudos to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso. Kudos to National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu Ribadu came the first time he stood out. He was a star. Now he has come again gloriously. Nuhu Ribadu has performed beyond expectations. Nuhu Ribadu single-handedly tracked that Binance executive, and brought these people racketeering, manipulating the value of the naira, playing illegally on the value of our currency, hedging our currency, round tripping. They were round tripping this currency. They were making a hell of money, getting from official rate and selling direct to the parallel market. No value added whatsoever, no productivity, nothing. They were just round tripping these currencies. Kudos to Malam Nuhu Ribadu, a very shining, bright star, a distinguished gentleman. He has done it before. He has come to do it again. He has done it as an EFCC boss. He is doing it as the boss of the NSA. Those are the brilliant minds we need in this country. We need a replicate of those people, smart and up to the task. I really commend the Tinubu administration for putting Malam Nuhu Ribadu in that position as the national security advisor, because this man has intelligence at his fingertips. Can't you see the Binance executive Hijapa? Can't you see that the value of the naira has dropped significantly against the dollar, and there's been stability and some form of fresh of breath air? Can't you see that now things are happening in the right direction? The EFCC is on their game. The CBN, Yemi Cardoso, perfect gentleman. The NSA, they have moved away all the illegal racketeering and manipulating activities of scammers. They should beam the searchlight on most of these bankers. Most of these bankers are rogue bankers. They just put on suit and tie. They are glorified Yahoo boys. They should beam the searchlight on these bankers. These bankers, they finance illegalities. They don't finance the real sector of the economy. They don't finance growth. They are after quick money. I mean, I very much stand with the progress this administration has been able to make over time. I stand with the idea of floating the naira, but it's not just about floating the naira, it's about having Nigeria work. Because if Nigeria is working, the dollar will fall from 1.2 to 1.1. It will fall from 1.1 to 1,000. Then possibly it will break that support. That's 1,000 is a support, 2,000 is a resistance, 2,000 is a resistance, 1,000 is a support. So it's hard to break the support and it's hard to break the resistance. But once it breaks the support, it breaks it and keeps going. Or once it breaks the resistance, it breaks it and keeps going. But right now we're at a bandwidth. We have a bandwidth. We have where the naira is between 1,000 and 2,000. Acceptable. There's nothing anybody can do about that. That's already on history. It's already historical data. So when naira gets to 2,000 naira or 1,008 or 1,000 at any time soon, it's not going to be a totally strange thing or totally new thing. It has happened before. Osheleri, it has happened before. So that's not the issue. The issue is not even about the floating. The issue is about having the economy work so that what has been floated will be to our favor. If the economy is not working, what has been floated will be against us. So now, what are the good news now that are anchoring this naira floating? This Dangote refinery is a major fundamental that, to me, I can stake that is going to stabilize the value of our economy, the value of our naira, is going to bring a lot of succor. This Dangote is a very, 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 the refinery, if Dangote refinery can work, the NNPC refineries, the refinery in Port Harcourt, the refinery in Kaduna, if these refineries can be jump-started, if they can, if they can start refining our crude, we have the crude and we have the refined product, the yam and the knife is in our hands. Do you know what it means? We'll take our place among all of this committee of nations. All this Angola, South Africa, Kenya, Morocco, all these small European countries, Spain, Maldives, they are supposed to be coming to Nigeria to come and hustle, not the other way around where Nigerian youths are living in droves, that they are going to anywhere that is going to, they are jackpot How to oh my goodness, the country is blessed with abundant natural and human resources. The country is blessed beyond measures. I mean, you see this Naira that has been floated. To me, it it is a very right step, and that Tinubu did not just float the Naira, he has stood with that decision and is fighting on that same decision. He's backing that decision every day. Every day, things are coming back to shape. Things are looking upbeat. Things are looking promising. There is a form of renewed hope within the populace, the people that are really informed about the workability of the economy are beginning to say, okay, we see a sigh of relief. We see light at the end of the tunnel. The vice president has come to say the economy has taken the turn for the better. So this floating of the Naira was a very tactical and genius move, if you ask me. The people that advised the president advised him rightly. I am a currency expert. I've been in the international scene trading international currencies for over 15 years now upward. In 2008, the global financial meltdown, global financial crisis, during what was it that time happening in America? Benny Madoff. Go and read about Benny Madoff. How one person single-handedly manipulated a country's currency to his favor. You must fight against manipulators of the currency. You must bring them to book. You cannot create something out of nothing. You cannot reap where you did not sow. You cannot make money from doing nothing, absolutely nothing. You can't. It's crime against the economy. You can't just sit down, buy dollar at official rate, and take it to the parallel market and sell it in the parallel market and make the arbitrage. You make the spread. That is criminality. That is criminality. This floating of the Naira and the people the president has put to man this activity, they must dig further deeper too, so that the Naira will reflect its true value, not this manipulated, rigged value. No, the Naira should be respected. Nobody should just abuse the Naira. Nobody should denigrate the Naira. Nobody should. By the way, Mommy of Lagos has been arrested. Mommy of Lagos has been arrested. Bobrisky. Potter will say your ear should be like Aku. Bobrisky has been arrested for spraying Naira. You don't spray Naira. Don't abuse our national currency. It is our national symbol. You don't abuse the Naira like that. Kilo day. Do you people want to scatter this country for us? We don't have any other country that is our own. We don't have any other place to go to. This is our fatherland. We must protect this land jealously. We must work for this country. And this country must work for us. This country can only work for us if we work for this country. You should not betray your country. You should not be unpatriotic. You should value the Naira. The Naira is our standardized means of exchange internationally and locally. The Naira must be respected. We must stimulate production. We must have people producing what we consume. We must export excess of our production. We must grow the country. We must take our place among the committee of nations. I'm coming to be your president. 2027, I will continue where Baba Tinubu stopped. I'm going to be the next executive president of Nigeria. I'm going to take over from the good things the president and his team has been able to do. I will bring a better team, a more youthful team, a smart team, a very dynamic team, a team that can play with the realities of modern day. They can play with modern day realities in global economy, a team that will be tech savvy, a team that it is a touch of a button we will use to control this country. A team that will be smart. We will make the government very lean government. We are not doing project management. It's gone. We are on agile. We are using Scrum. We are going to run this country autopilot. Everything will work smooth. When I become the president, I will pursue insecurity away from our shores. There will be no insecurity nowhere. I will triple the budget of the Ministry of Defense, of the defense spending. I will triple their budget. I will give them so much money that insecurity would not be attractive to anybody. The soldiers will pepper anybody that wants to be stubborn. The soldiers must catch you. I will motivate the soldiers that much. I will triple the budget of our defense. Once I can triple the budget of defense, the defense spending is adequate. These people are motivated. They are up and good to go. They will pursue these criminals to the length and breadth, Gog and Magog. They will pursue these criminals that is hindering growth. They will pursue them out of the country. Once I can pursue criminals out of the country, we will stimulate growth. The money we spend on defense, we will make the money in our country. The money we will make the money, we will meet our obligations. We will meet our international financial obligations. We cannot be borrowing to consume. We must borrow to produce. You can't borrow money for consumption. They don't do that in any part of the world. You borrow to produce, to stimulate your economy. That's what you borrow to do. We will get international lenders to lend us this money. We will get the local lenders. We will look in the books what these banks are doing with the money. We will look at our ways and means. We will look at every legal means available. We will fund education. There will be no Almajiri children on the street. There will be no out-of-school children. We will fund education massively. We will fund the health sector. We will create efficient means of transportation. People will ride on tubes, rail tubes, trams, good functional train, standard airports, standard gauge 5-lane express dual carriages would make the country smart. That is what I will do as a president. 2027, I will be the next Nigerian president, taking over from His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, the man has really tried. Less than 1 year, he has done this much. I can't wait for his 4-year tenure to be over. Then there's a negotiation. I will replace him. He will be the president. He will be the president emeritus. I will be the prime minister of the economy. Prime minister and coordinating minister of the affairs of the country. Then we'll assemble youths. Not youths that don't know what they are doing. We are talking of youths that they have distinguished themselves in their fields, in their early 30s, below 30s. They are distinguished youths already. They are excellent already. They have excelled. We will assemble them. Then we will now let the world know that Nigeria has come of age. Now it's time. It is our time. It is no more any form of mediocrity and lacklusterness and anything goes, anyhow does it. No, it is no more that. We are now in for business. When I become president, me like this, when I become president, everybody will enjoy. Wealth will be distributed evenly. It will trickle throughout the stratosphere of the economy. Every newborn baby in this country will be glad that they gave birth to him in Nigeria. because as they are burning the baby has a social security number, it has some amount of money. I, as the president, will pay into that baby's account. I, as the president, I will look out for every child that is of primary school age. No child that is supposed to be in primary school will be caught hawking, or will carry a plate and be begging, or for one reason or the other is not in school. It will be made a criminal offense. Any child in my regime that is not in the classroom, the parents must be arrested. That will be a decree in my presidency come 2027. Once our children are in school, primary education level, secondary education, there must be vocational studies. All our secondary school children must now start going into tech. They must start torchlighting this AI, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, everything from our secondary school. They must start producing panels. They must be actively involved. There must be mechanics, there must be bricklayers, there must be electricians, they must have vocational, they must do something technical with their hands. They must be productive at secondary school level. At the university level, there must be solution providers. They must be thinking. They must be actively thinking on solution. And then once they are graduating, they are meeting a level playing field that they will not even be looking for work. They will create work. They will create work for themselves. Their work will be waiting for them, whereby they can go into manufacturing, they can go into production, they can go into agriculture, they can go into farming, they can go into mining, they can go into music, into sports, they can go into any productive venture, And then we have people that they are not looking to come into government to make money. My tenure will make government so unattractive that there's nothing you are coming to make in government. You prefer to be doing your private hustle or your private business, because government office is not where you come and amass wealth and make yourself rich, or think of, if what you are making from government office pays you more than what you were supposed to be doing, then you don't have love for the people. You don't have love. It is your pocket that is making you go there. That's not what governance should be. We recruit credible leaders. I am a fellow of the Leadership and Institute Management, University of Washington. I have a certification to that effect. I'm a certified leadership and management coach. I am fit to be the next executive president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2027. I want to be president for you. So our country is going to work. The Naira has been floated, and once our economy is working, the Naira will be going like this. But if our economy is not working, support the law. The Naira will be going like this. So we need to keep our economy functional and working, so that we'll keep bringing down the value of this floating Naira. It is floating. Don't forget, it can float left or right, but let us not make it float right. Let us make it float our side. Anything that makes it float this way, it's against us. It's against us. The tide is against us. But anything that makes it float this way, the tide is for us. So you know what it is. You cannot swim against the tide. No, you have to swim with the tide. Don't be against the tide. Insecurity will make it be against us. Zero production. When NEPA does not give you light and they are bringing bill, that is against us. When children are not in school, that is against us. When people don't have food to eat, that is against us. But when there's prosperity in the land, it is for us. When the police are doing their work well, it is for us. When the teachers are doing if you be police well, no, they take bribe. If you be governor well, no, they. If you be president well. If you be student well. If you be farmer well. Do you understand? That is when our floating Naira will be respectable and be for us. Let's make this country work. Vote me 2027. I'm going to lobby within the ruling party. I'm going to have a memorandum of understanding to be the next president, working harmoniously with all our party members, working harmoniously even with the immediate president, continuing from where the president will stop and taking advice. And but we the youth, our time is now. It is now. I'm going to be president 2027. You will vote for me. You will vote for me because we are going to position this country to be much more efficient, to be a lot more smarter, to be a much more business friendly. We will bring a very conducive business climate. We will bring prosperity, shared prosperity in the land. There will be happiness. People will jubilate. It is time for the youth. It is youth o'clock. When I start my campaign, remember you have promised to vote for me. Thank you. I'll be back. Mwah.